Crime Shadows based on true crime stories. In the early hours of January 11, 2022, behind the closed doors of a quiet flat in Ang Mo Kio, a life filled with love and promise was violently extinguished. Not by a stranger, but by the very man who had vowed to protect it. This is the story of a mind unraveling and a tragedy that shook an entire nation. Shadows in the Mind. David Brian Chow. Kwok Hun, a 33-year-old managing director of a security training company, was a man seemingly on the ascent. Educated and successful, he helmed his family's business with diligence. Yet, beneath this veneer of success, a tempest brewed. In December 2021, an accounting error led him to believe his company was on the brink of bankruptcy. Despite reassurances from colleagues and family, the erroneous report consumed him with despair. Chow's mental state deteriorated rapidly. Sleep eluded him, and he became fixated on the perceived impending doom. Diagnosed later with adjustment disorder, his condition manifested in catastrophic thinking, leading him to a dark conclusion: to spare his beloved wife, Isabel Elizabeth Francis, and their unborn daughter from the shame of his perceived failure, he would end their lives and his own. A life of promise. Isabel, affectionately known as Belle, was a vibrant 30-year-old woman. A mass communications graduate from Ang Polytechnic and RMIT Singapore, she was pursuing a law degree at the Singapore University of Social Sciences. Employed as an assistant manager at Deliveroo, she was also deeply involved in her Catholic community, teaching catechism at the Church of Christ the King. Her relationship with Chow began in 2014, blossoming into marriage in December 2019. Friends and family described their union as loving and supportive. Isabel was 15 weeks pregnant, eagerly anticipating the arrival of their daughter, whom she had named Leah. The fateful morning. Around 5 a.m. on January 11th, Chow, consumed by his delusions, retrieved a fruit knife from the kitchen. Entering their bedroom, he attacked Isabel as she slept, stabbing her multiple times. Despite her desperate attempts to escape, including crawling towards the front door, Chow continued his assault, ultimately delivering fatal wounds to her head and neck. After the attack, Chow attempted to take his own life, inflicting wounds upon himself and ingesting a concoction of pills. However, he survived, and at 7:35 a.m., called the police to confess. Upon arrival, authorities found Isabel deceased and Chow injured but alive. The legal reckoning. Initially charged with murder, Chow's case took a turn when psychiatric evaluations revealed his adjustment disorder, leading to reduced charge of culpable homicide, not amounting to murder. On October 26, 2023, he pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 7 years in prison. The court acknowledged the tragedy's complexity, balancing Chow's mental state and lack of premeditation against the severity of his actions. The sentence sparked discussions on mental health, familial violence, and the adequacy of legal responses to such cases. Ripples beyond the crime. Isabel's brother, Emmanuel, shared the family's anguish, recalling the close bond they shared and the pain of losing both his sister and unborn niece. The family, while maintaining contact with Chow's relatives, struggled with forgiveness and closure. Ripples beyond the crime. Isabel's brother. The case highlighted a disturbing trend in Singapore, a rise in familial homicides. Experts emphasized the importance of early mental health interventions and need for societal awareness to prevent similar tragedies. Lessons in the aftermath. The Ang Mo Kio tragedy as a somber reminder of the devastating consequences when mental health issues go unaddressed. It underscores the necessity for open dialogues about psychological well-being, the importance of accurate information in decision-making, and the profound impact of personal crises on families and communities. As Singapore reflects on this harrowing event, it becomes imperative to foster a society where mental health is prioritized, support systems are robust, and tragedies like this become relics of the past.